Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Another picture-perfect Chamber of Commerce weather day here in Santa Rosa, California, the Queen City of wine country. It's going to be a hot one today, but as usual, the work continues on the Rancho. Yes, I know I got that bush I hate out front that I got to trim. A lot of stuff I don't like. I don't like that tree. I like that to go. Wish I could just blink my eyes. I don't know what the hell the deal with the corn cob is here. Catching up on birds art. Blackbird. Somebody said yesterday, oh, you didn't show us the apple tree out back. Let's go check it out. This time of year I don't have to really worry about cutting the grass anymore because no rain. Tree's looking pretty good. I'd like to get this cut back someday because this overhangs the property. I want to do a big, there's a lot of land here. I'd love to do a big homestead here, farmstead on the property. The apples are looking good. Already got some that are turning color here. That's looking good, huh? Apples. Yes, Crow, I'm here. I'm not bothering you. All upset. No wonder Alfred Hitchcock loved filming out here. And there's our apples. I do try to take off some of the small ones, so that more energy goes into the large one, so you have better quality fruits. But there's only so many hours in a day when you're working, and there's a nice triplet there. Make a nice pie. Here's the fig tree. We should have some fall figlets. We didn't have any spring ones because the tree was too small. But here's another thing I don't like. Fig trees are a mess. They don't grow into a tree. They're just a wild bush. All right, let's get on to the project du jour. It's going to be a messy one as usual. Something I've probably done at least 20 times on the property. And that is fixing leaky lines for the irrigation system. And there's probably half a mile of irrigation lines at least running along the length of this property. I'm looking at the back, making sure. Of course, the further away you don't get as much water as the closest to the source of the pump. Here we go again with all this. This crapola. I got special trash pickup coming on the 15th. I'm going to get rid of this old funky mower, and I got one in the back. But here's what I showed you yesterday we got going on. Somebody said, oh, you should have a swimming pool on the Rancho. Well, there she is. Luckily, I'll be kind of working in the shade for a while today. So there is a leaky line underneath. So what I'm going to do is go over to the well pump. I'm going to grab myself a morning plum. You don't think that's a nice experience? And enjoy that. And I'm going to go ahead and shut off the valve. Maintaining pressure pretty good, so it's not a terrible leak. But let's go ahead and shut that off. That'll stop pressure from going down line, and this will... Our peach tree is looking good. This will gradually go down. I can't work in a water level that's high. I'll start digging that out in a while. Okay, there's your project of the day. Get suited up. I just went out to the hardware store and made it sure I had a little piece of plastic pipe here with the Murray clamps, hose clamps. That's what I'm going to need, because we're going to start digging down here. It's been a little bit. I'm going to see how much the water has gone down in this particular area. It's been about an hour. Yeah, it's starting to dry up a little bit. I'm going to sit that right there, grab our gloves, and let's commence to digging. Nice thing is, when the soil's been super saturated that long, it's very easy to dig the soil. I have no idea how far we're going to have to dig down here, because honestly, I've never had a well leak here before. But it is back-breaking work. We're going to keep poking around, and we'll let the pressure on. That'll give us a little more of a guide as to where the leak is. It'll start to rise up a little puddle. And that will give us the target. Hope you're not afraid of hard work. Just pop the water back on here. We'll try to observe over the next, yep, here we go over here, look at that. Can you see that? Starting to flow right there, so that's where we need to dig. Ooh. Now it's time to do some hand digging here. You can see that the pipe is starting to present itself, and people often ask me, how do you get leaks? Well, there's where a prior one was, right down there. You get minute little stones, and under the pressure of compaction, they end up being like little knives. You can see there was a prior fixed there with that hose clamp. I don't know if you can see that right there. So over time, under compaction, that starts to cut into the line. We got to be able to dig out quite a bit on both ends because we need to raise the pipe. I don't know exactly where the leak is, but if you like playing in the mud, this is your gig right here. If you have a Rancho, there's always something that needs fixing. Well, this is interesting. It's actually capped off there, which could be a real blessing. Just recap it off again. I should be so lucky. Let's go ahead and turn the water back on, and we can ascertain where that the precise location along this pipe of where the leak is. Okay, I turned the pressure on real low, and there she blows. So we should be able to just cut that back and recap it. I'm going to use the old Orbit cutter here. I'll probably need two hands for this. Okay, the end of it has been cut. I don't know if I'm going to be able to salvage that. I'd love to be able to reuse that cap part, but I'm going to pull out the plumbing box and see if I have another, put another stopper in there. Always have the plumbing box here for the Rancho. I think I'm going to see if I can work this in and just use a hose clamp to clamp the end of it. Keep your fingers crossed. That's what I'm going to try. Looks like that idea is going to work. All we have to do is thread that cap into there and tighten the hose clamp, and we should definitely be in business. We hope. Because right now, we're fighting the sun coming over to this area. Okay, we'll get our Stilson wrench on that. Tighten away. I'm going to try to put it in as far as possible in the tube. Might be easier, yeah, just to turn it by hand. Until it really gets in there. I don't know if I want to send it all the way up because this pipe is kind of old and it might split, but you never really know until you try. What am I, a plumber? Yeah, around here you got to be plumber, electrician, videographer, landscaper, orchardist, farmer. Yeah, all right, you get the idea. I'm going to continue to tighten that down. Then we're going to advance this baby and tighten that hose clamp on, and we should be good to go. Mission unsuccessful. Back to the drawing board. I know this thing looks stupid. I had some PVC cement and some fittings, so we're going to jam this end in and see how she goes. Looking good. I got partial pressure applied. I'm not seeing any water movement, so that's a good sign. I really worked that a piece of gray way down into the pipe there. It probably goes all the way down to here, which is good. So we're going to wait a little bit, put the pressure. I don't have the tank really, I have about half pressure right now. I think I'll go ahead and fully pressurize the system. I'm going to call that good to go. Holding pressure well. Time to get the shovel out, fill it in, and call it complete. And that's project number 1 today. Let's get on to project number 2. We need to plant this bush that I bought. Can't remember what the heck it is. It's a Camellia. And I want to put it right in this area right here. So let's get this digging. We're going to have to put up weed barrier and chips just like over there. I don't want to put it right up against the building, so I'm moving it out about 2 feet or so it'll have room to bush behind and just not be up against, because this will reflect the sun and heat it up, so I need to have a little distance. So I'm going to need to pickaxe. This soil is really hard. What am I planning? Bought this a while ago. I guess I had a fit of laziness. Well, I don't have that today. This is a 45 bucks for this Yuletide Camellia, and it has those really beautiful red blossoms with the little yellow inside. Kind of cool. Yeah. And sometimes even Rosie gets an attack of lazy. So you can see we're going to have to dig down a ways here. So I think if we plunk her here, she's going to be pretty happy in that location. Dig ahoy! There she is. She's certainly sitting deep enough there. So now it's time to infill, and then we'll get our outside rings, put down our weed barrier, and connect up our watering hoses. And I think this project will be complete. I still have plenty of this edging material left over, as well as the shade cloth from the project of doing all the fruit trees. See, I've cut a ring there. The next thing I'm going to do is cut the shade cloth and install that. I think I have ground spikes inside and they'll help keep the shade cloth down. So I'm going to need some scissors, and I'm going to need to find those little spikes. Happy I didn't lose the touch in getting that weed cloth cut and the surround put down. Now I need to grab some material to run the water lines there. I'm going to run 2 of them off of this because this gets a lot of morning to mid-afternoon sun, and then it goes into the shade for the rest of the afternoon. So I want to make sure this is always has plenty of moisture. Doesn't that look pretty? I love it when work comes together with a satisfying result. I ran 2 water lines underneath of the fabric shade cloth there. Weed barrier, as you can see over there. So I'm imagining that this will do quite well with 8 gallons per hour is the application rate of the drippers that I put on. Pretty happy. Guys, we're not done today. Don't get all excited. We got one more project to do. Yep. Remember this little baby? You think we forgot? Did you forget? We still have to tame this beast. Just hoping we're going to have room. I might have to grind this up, but I don't like to leave these branches. Hello, Ladybug. I'm going to have to flick you off so you can fly away to a new place. If I just flick these off, then it has the little sharp needles that somebody could step on later. So let's get the electric set up. We also have an issue. Why doesn't this GFI work over here? Who knows? Don't slow down. Keep the momentum going. I got a nice little surprise. I usually don't come over here. Look at how pretty the hydrangeas look. They're getting plenty of water. Really nobody sees them here, but I know they're here. This is the one people see, and this has turned out to be a disaster. So I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with the water line here eventually and get this thing straightened out, but not today. We got the electric over the other side. Let's grab the trimmer and the ladder. Prickly mofo. That's the way we do it. That's the way we do it. Hate this thing. That, my friends, is the end of that. Taming the beast. Still got one more thing. You're not tired yet? We're going to try to at least take a preliminary look and see what's going on here with this outlet. May have to be changed out. They don't last forever, the GFIs. I don't even think, yeah, you probably need one out here, but it would be GFI protected upstream. Let's take a look. Few people realize you don't need a GFI at every outlet. As long as your upstream has a GFI, in other words, if you're going to install a GFI or an outlet where one is already with a GFI like this, then it looks like we're connecting here with this one. We're getting power here for charging, but you don't need, you can put one GFI in on, it'll protect the whole downstream string of outlets They can be regular outlets. They don't have to be GFI, ground fault interrupter. So let me go outside. We'll see if we're getting any power out there at all. Getting no voltage whatsoever. You can't even push the reset or test on this. So I believe that we have a faulty GFI. I'm not sure if I have one. I'm going to go check. I pulled the outlet. Now we can see if we're getting any power to the neutral. Looks like that might have slipped out on the neutral side in the hot there. So let's check it with the meter. Just a word of caution, if you don't know anything about electricity, it can be very dangerous. Put that around. So we're getting 121 volts there. So let's make sure we didn't slip off our connectors here. Let's go ahead and depower here. Let me go inside. Let me see if I have another unit first. Always verify. Always verify. Don't assume because you flipped a little toggle or something that the power is off. Okay. Good. This has been de-energized here. The first thing we should try to do is see if maybe our connector slipped out here before we go crazy and change this out, because we do have an upstream GFI, so we don't have to worry about if we have to replace this with a regular outlet non-GFI. It's not going to matter. It'll still be protected. Let's loosen that. Put that down really well. Looks like we're totally ungrounded and everything. Let me finish hooking this up and I'll check back with you guys in a minute. I just repowered it, and yeah, this GFI has gone bad. So we're going to just replace it with a regular outlet. Like I said, this is downstream from the GFI, so this will be just as protected. What is that, little spider in there? Just as protected as if this had a GFI here. So let me go ahead and cut the power inside, and we'll get this installed. Our light bulb is on. All we need to do is get that secured into place. And I've got a new faceplate for it. And that should be the end of today's project. There she is, all buttoned up, good as new. So, mission accomplished on that. Black Widows, you may go back and resume your home there. Time for me to get cleaned up. It's been a long day, but a good one here on the Rancho with a lot of things accomplished. 4 different little mini projects today. I'll tell you, you want to get things done in life, you set yourself a goal when you get up in a day. 1, 2, 3, 4 things that you want to accomplish. And guess what? You will accomplish them. If you get up in the morning and say to yourself, I don't know what I'm going to do today, well, you probably won't really do anything. So that's it. Thanks for being along today. Thumbs up are appreciated, and enjoy the rest of your day.